Rosh Hashana 1.0, we're all aware of the apples and honey, the Barton chocolate, the Rosh Hashana appeals. What's Rosh Hashana 2.0? Rosh Hashana 2.0, the mystics teach us, opens up a whole new idea of what Rosh Hashana is all about. It's not the way we grew up with it, not what we think it is. It's something which is totally different. So we spelled out 5 ideas which we could delve into in days, literally, about each one of those 5 ideas. But we're going to just get like a tiny taste of understanding of what Rosh Hashana 2.0 is based on the mystical understanding of it. New year or new beginnings. So we know that the new year means a lot of things for many people. It's New Year resolutions, ball dropping, parties, different things going on. What is Rosh Hashana all about? Rosh Hashana is a new start. It's a new start. It's a reset of creation where God recreates all of the hierarchy of creation, whatever that means. Hierarchy is not just the hierarchy of this world, but it's all of the mystical world, and it's way beyond our understanding of what that means. So where do we fit into the picture? We fit into the picture by understanding that it's ultimately we bring pleasure to the divine, to God, that it's within our reach to be a part of this ecosystem, spiritual ecosystem, physical ecosystem, by the virtue of what we do. And that's the idea of the shofar. Shofar literally means beautiful. It means to beauty things. And we think that the little things that we do, the ways that we try to perfect ourselves, we try to improve, we try to step into the game a little bit more day by day, that has no bigger consequences, but it does. And there's a major consequence for the things that we do. And that's what the shofar is all about. The shofar comes from the word shapru, improve your ways. And when we hear the physical blast of the shofar, we become transformed, and we try to squeaky clean ourselves a little bit more and try to come into a state of mind of beingness, of understanding that we want to become that person that we're destined to be, that God wants us to be. So in the whole purpose of creation, in the mystic, the way the Zohar teaches us, the Arizal, all the great mystics teach us, is that God had a desire in the creation of the world. And that desire needs to be reignited. Just like your desire, my desire, needs to be reignited. That flame, that fire needs to be refueled by what? By passion, by pleasure, the divine pleasure, the highest, most platform that we really have is pleasure. We have will and we have pleasure, and the pleasure feeds the will. So too by the divine, the pleasure feeds the divine will in the creation of the world. So when we perfect ourselves and when we blast on the physical level, when we hear the shofar, when we blast the shofar on that day of Rosh Hashanah, that elicits a divine calling from up above to now reciprocate and now to want to be reinvested within creation and to recreate another awesome year for every one of us in this world. Now, it's also a birthday. So it's a birthday. It's not just the creation of what people think of the world. It's really the creation of man. It's the creation of man. It's a lot of birthday candles going on over here in all of creation, and we are actually created. Man and woman are now created on Rosh Hashanah. Adam was actually born on that day of Rosh Hashanah. On that peak day of Rosh Hashanah is the day that he caused all of creation to now recognize that it's all about purpose. It's now, there was a beautiful creation that was created beforehand. That's amazing. 6 days of creation, 6 millenniums, whatever you want to say. That beautiful world that we have, the sun, the stars, the ecosystem, the planets, all of that is incredible. But if you don't do something about it, if man is not there to actualize, to really cause the divine light to now perpetuate and to now be invested within creation. So then all of creation is just a nice piece of of plastic. It's a nice piece of like clay. But who's forming this clay? Man is forming clay. All of us, it's our birthday. And when we exemplify that and when we perpetuate that, we bring that into creation. So then we realize God's ultimate purpose for creation. Day of Judgment. That totally freaks me out. Day of Judgment, Armageddon, whatever. Really intense. What does the Day of Judgment actually mean? Day of Judgment is not what we think. The Day of Judgment is all about how did you fare up this year? Did you bring more kindness into the world? Did you do more smiling? Were you more positive? Or were you negative? And by the way, scientists actually tell us that 90% of our thoughts are negative, and 80% of our thoughts are thoughts that we had yesterday. And we have 60,000 thoughts every single day. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty intense. So how many of us actually went beyond the 80% or 90% rule of now thinking positive or now acting positively, doing positive things, perpetuating that into the world? And that's what we're actually judged on. It's like, God is like, hey, I created a beautiful world, beautiful potential, all there. It's there for your taking. It's there for your transformation. Just do it. And we're kind of like fared up. Where did you reach up? Where did you do? How did you do? And so don't freak out. Now, that's actually Kabbalistically the idea of listening to the shofar. The shofar sweetens the judgment on that day of Rosh Hashana, whereas nobody is perfect. No one is perfect. Not even Adam. For 3 hours he was in paradise. Right away he sinned, stumbled, but nobody is perfect. So our past year could always improve upon. But when we want to have that focus, and we have the idea of taking on a resolution, but not a resolution the way the New Year's resolution is all about, but recognizing that mystical idea of it's all about us, it's all about creation. We're all co-creators. So then we want to actually make the things that we do into habits. We want to like do them over and over again to really just like focus on them, to really do a great, awesome job in really bringing that into creation. So that's what the judgment is all about. So we could just spare the judgment by judging ourselves, right? And at first it's a little bit like intense, but when we make the decision and we make not a 99% decision, but 100% decision, I'm going to be up by this time, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be trying this. Don't overexceed your, don't be too ambitious about that. But when you actually go ahead and do those things, so then that sweetens that judgment, so to speak, and then you're on your way to an awesome year. Pray for personal needs. So then on that day of Rosh Hashana, are we thinking that we should pray for our personal needs? So the answer is yes. We need all those things. We need health. We need family, all of our family to be healthy. We need, if we need to get married, we need that. We need children, grandchildren, etc. We need money, very basic things. We need all those things in order for us to be successful, to be happy, to have that peace of mind. So all of that is super important. So it's not a contradiction. So when we're thinking about personal wealth and personal things and needs that we need to have independent in and of themselves, that's negative. But when we think about them in terms of our ability to do our mission in this world, then we recognize that it's necessary. We need to have all those things. So let's go out there. Let's have an awesome year. Let's really be blessed with an amazing abundance, with everything that we need, with good health, long life for us, for our children, grandchildren, spouses, etc., and wealth, everything that we need. It should be all in abundance, in a way that we should just be able to like do what we need to do, bring more kindness, more positivity into the world. And let's see an awesome year, blessed with everything that we need in the spiritual and in the physical world, for us and for all of humanity.